Hey everybody! So today starts a new series that I will be doing with Susanna Lee. You will find her her video in the links down below. If you've never subscribed to Susanna before, I highly recommend her channel. She's fabulous. I'm actually going to start collaborating with her on another series starting in May. But for today, we decided, since we are both subscribers to the Paper Person Kit Club, you know that I love my Paper Person kits so much. We have come up with a new series, kind of a challenge series, where we're going to take turns picking 5 items from our Paper Person kits, and each of us are going to use those 5 items on our layouts. So this will be twice monthly. It'll be on Fridays. And I get to pick the first 5, right? So the 5 things from our Paper Person kits that we are going to use for this week's challenge is these beautiful alphabets. So this alphabet stamp set was an add-on. So if you have a subscription, you might have them, but if you don't, if you didn't grab them as an add-on to your kit, then just go grab yourself any kind of stamp set alphabet stamp set you have in your stash, and you can play along with us. The next thing we are going to work with is this beautiful stripy paper. So the back side of this, yes, is cut aparts, but look at the stripe. We need that stripe in our life. You know we do. I love it. Love this pattern. The other 2 things in our stash are these 2 3x4 cards. Now, if you are going to play along with us, you're going to need this one and this one out of your cut apart sheet, unless you downloaded and printed out your printable cards, and then you've got them and you can use the stripy paper. The 5th thing we're going to be playing with is this little coffee pot. So you know we got to do some coffee, a coffee kind of layout today. So we have our 12x12 stripy paper, our 2 3x4 cards, our little coffee chipboard piece, and our alphabet. So let's get started. I will be using these 5 items plus the rest of my kit to create a layout. So will Susanna. And this is the photo I'm going to be playing with today. So let's get started on our page. FYI, those fabulous Paper Person stamps are available in the shop as of now. And I will link them. No, I'm not going to lick my stamps, but I will link them down below. And that way you can grab them if you want them, because they're fabulous. So what I'm doing first is I am going to cut apart the cut apart sheet a little bit. I want that green card because I'm going to do some journaling, and I want my journaling on that green card. So one way I'm using the paper is to cut apart a sheet. The other way I'm going to use this paper is I'm now going to go ahead and cut about 100 strips. Well, not 100 strips, just a whole bunch. So I want lots of colors. I want to go ahead and use some of these different patterns. Some of these patterns you've seen me use before because they are part of the Some Days collection by Pink Fresh Studio, one of my very favorites. I'm discovering that I have a couple of collections from the new release in January that I keep coming back to and keep grabbing and wanting to use more of. So one of them is this Pink Fresh Studio Some Days collection. Another one is the Prima Watercolor Floral collection. So I am there's no rhyme or reason to this. I am cutting strips of paper. They're all about the same width, but I'm not doing math about it. And they are all different lengths for sure. I am going to go ahead and ink up all of my strips using Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide ink. And then I am going to go ahead and layer these strips up. So I am putting my strips quite close to the bottom because I know that I'm going to be putting my picture and my journaling and everything kind of to the top of this page. And so I want to make sure that I don't end up not having enough room at the top of my page to layer the other things that I want to put on. So my plan is to go ahead and use these 3 pocket cards, but I'm going to use them a little bit differently in kind of interesting ways. So I'm going to start with this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thick kind of dark green border off of it. I'm going to make the border a bit thinner. Keep the border, but make it thinner. And then I am going to layer this kind of stripy card behind it to keep it nice and light. And then we also have this really cute Caffeinate Me card, which we're just going to use, right? Like, so this coffee has a story behind it that I want to tell. So we're definitely going to do a bit of journaling on this page. I know. I'm also going to use the stripy paper to go ahead and cut myself a 4 1/4-ish by 6 1/4-ish kind of mat for my photo that's going to end up being too big. And so, oh, actually, wait, no, not this one. Wrong video, wrong layout, sorry. This will be just fine. I think I do trim it up just a touch, but not too much. Yep. Because, yeah, this is it. Look, Math and I don't get along. And the arm of my guillotine trimmer has disappeared. I think I threw it away accidentally. That's the only thing I can figure out because it has literally just disappeared. So I've been looking at new paper trimmers, thinking about replacing it, not necessarily wanting to, kind of dragging my feet on that purchase. Because paper trimmers, first of all, they're expensive. Second of all, they don't really work. I mean, does anything really cut straight ever? I have been really, really happy with my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. So we'll see. I'm still kind of looking and trying to debate and thinking of my options. Anyway, time to do some journaling. So I am going to do journaling on both of these cards. So I'm going to fill out the Caffeinate Me card, but then I'm also going to tell a story because I have a story and journaling to tell that's going to go on the other card. I know what you're thinking, a 12 by 12 layout with journaling? Who even am I? But no, sometimes I do. I tell you guys all the time, if I have journaling, it goes on the page. But if I just don't, then it doesn't. But everything gets a date. So you'll see there's a date on the bottom of that card too. So now I'm going to go ahead and stagger these kind of across all this strips of paper. This is affectionately known as a shelf page, which I love. Love these kinds of pages. One of my very favorites. I haven't done one in a really long time, so was kind of in the mood to do one of these. I'm going to go ahead now and do some stamping. So much stamping. So this stamping is going to require a bit of preparation. When you're doing a title, and you're going to do a title with a stamp set, you need some preparation. So I'm going to move the stamps all around, kind of decide where I want. I know what my title is going to be. I know what I'm going to use. I just have to figure out kind of where I want to fit it in and how I want it to look. So now we're going to do some stamping. I am using the tomato soup ink from the Paper Person, or as I affectionately refer to it, Kelly Perky Red. Because she uses a shade of red in her lines that is very distinctive. And yeah, this ink matches it perfectly, which makes me super duper happy. I am going to these stamps are super high quality, which means that they will stain. It is what it is. Don't be sad. It's doing its job, and look at the beautifulness that you get. So when I stamp a title and I'm not using a MISTI and I'm free range stamping, I always make sure to let the stamp and the acrylic block rest on the paper just a couple seconds, just a little bit. It allows that ink to really transfer well to the paper, and it allows the ink to kind of soak in, and you get a much better impression when you do this. It does take a little bit of time just to hold it down, but the results are 100% worth it, I promise. I'm also overlapping my letters.
This helps this whole word to read as one, and once it dries, it looks fine. Just a trick when you're stamping, you can always, when you're creating a title and you have to put it kind of the way this one is, you can overlap and let the letters touch a little bit, and that helps them to look like one word. And as I mentioned in the beginning, at the time that this layout is going live, these beautiful alphabet stamps are in stock over at thepaperperson.com, and I will link them up below. So I am going to grab this smaller stamp set. This is the Colette alphabet set, which isn't available in the shop anymore, but any small alphabet set will do. I am stamping using Goldenrod, which is another Paper Person ink color, and I am stamping the rest of my titles. So we have the Starbucks up at the top, and then we have To the Rescue across the bottom. This month in our kit, we got a sheet of chipboard. Now, I'm not a huge fan of chipboard, but I'm going to use it. I know, shock horror. I've used it a couple pieces before on other projects. I just take a lot of the back off. But actually, for this one, I decided just to leave it. This is going to take me a while, trying to figure out which pieces I want to use. Just fair warning. I do end up adding 2. And then I'm actually going to add a little bit to that bottom piece, and I'm going to add a chipboard there as well. I'm going to start with these 3 pieces. And then the stamp set that came in the kit. Stamps have all these cute little phrases on them, one of which is coffee. So I grabbed my tomato soup ink and the stamp that says coffee, and I'm just making like a little bit of a border after the subtitle. I started from both sides of that area because I knew I was going to end up with like a gap. It wasn't going to fit perfectly, and that's okay because that's why we have the chipboard, right? So I'm going to grab the chipboard out, and I'm going to grab this little sunshine and kind of place it in that little gap between there, and that's going to work perfectly. And that is where we are going to call this layout done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure to head over to Susanna's channel. Say hello to her. She also has an amazing layout to share. And I will talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye.